5 myths about end-of-life doulas. Number 1, end-of-life doulas are morbid. I mean, some of us are, some of us aren't, and some of us kind of lie in the middle. Since becoming a death doula, I have a fascination with, that I didn't have before, skulls, not real ones, but aesthetic ravens, which I've always had an affinity to ravens and crows. But since starting this work, I have a murder of crows, which is what it is called TikTok, in my yard ever since I started this work. Oh, and I love art that is on like casket shaped. My brother actually is an amazing artist, and he did multiple of those for me to sell, but also like when I do community booths. Myth number 2, we're available whenever. I mean, some of us could be, but most of us do have a schedule, and it's based upon our client load, what our clients' needs are, and actually what's going on in our lives. My schedule kind of is cyclical. Some clients, based on their needs, I'm available 24/7. Some clients, based on their need, I'm only available when they need me. So it just kind of depends. Myth number 3, we're just like hospice. So end-of-life doulas work in partnership with a lot of hospices. I know I do, and I do a lot of volunteer work with one of our local hospices, which I love. But as an end-of-life doula, we don't do hospice work. We can let you know what hospice is, what your options are, even help advocate and help you communicate if needed. Myth number 4, all end-of-life doulas are trained. The truth is, not all of us are. And there's some debate out there of whether or not you do need to be trained as a death doula. I would say that it is very helpful if you do have some structured learning, unless you have had extensive experience working in hospice, working as previously as a medical provider. But even then, there are certain things about an end-of-life doula, especially in this day and age, that some training does need to be had, even if you don't necessarily go through a certification program, which, by the way, if you are interested, I'd be happy to share with you the folks that I got my certification from. End-of-life doulas can navigate any client situation, and that's just not true. I mean, I think in general terms, we can support and serve anyone, but each death doula has kind of a different preference, specialty, focus. And so like for me, I really love working with families who are navigating the process of death with their loved one. I love working with individuals and families who are living with dementia. Like that's kind of one of my areas of specialty. And also an area of specialty is clients that are going through the grieving process, or I do a lot of workshops and free talks on what the grieving process looks like. Other doulas do, there are pet doulas. There are end-of-life doulas that specialize in mothers who have miscarried. Other doulas just focus on a certain age or a certain illness or a certain demographic. Like we have some doulas that just focus on supporting those that are experiencing houselessness or part of the LGBTQIA communities. Most end-of-life doulas will tell you we are happy to serve and hold space for anyone that needs it. But some of us have specialties. There's one group that I would have a really hard time with. I did it one time, and in this moment, I'm not able to do it. And that is working with children who are on their transition journey. I would do it if I have to, but it's just not something that I can emotionally hold space for right now. So I'm curious which of these myths interested you or that you learned from. And then I'm also curious, what other questions have you thought about the myths of doulas?